What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of Restoration with Vick. For today's project, we got these reverse taxi Jordan 12s, but these johns are cooked. I'm gonna show you guys today how to give the shoe a proper deep clean using Rejuvenator products, how to remove the yellowing from the sole, how to fix deep scratches, re-dye the suede, and fix some separation. So without further ado, let's get it started. To get it started, we're gonna put this shoe to the side for before and after purposes. Next, we're gonna take out our shoelaces and insole to give those a thorough cleaning separately. Insole is out. One thing I noticed when I was taking it out, on the inside, there's a lot of debris that's just gonna get in the way if I just start cleaning the shoe. So we're gonna clean all that up using my vacuum. All prepped, ready to go. Before we start cleaning the shoe with water and solution, we're gonna grab our Soft Bristle Brush and go over the entire shoe to get rid of any surface dust. Anytime you do any cleaning, make sure you do that step first. There's no reason to push the grime and dirt deeper into the material. Now let's grab our shoe tree, adjust it to size, pop it inside. This is gonna help us with the creasing. Now let's grab our solution and squirt 2 squirts in our bowl of water. Now let's grab the same brush and dunk it in our water solution and go at it on the shoe. Good to go scrubbing down the uppers. I also took care of the insides. Don't forget about that part, you guys, because a lot of germs and bacteria do get stored up inside. If you're gonna be giving your shoe a deep clean, you gotta take care of the insides. Now let's move on to our next brush, which is our medium. For this, we're gonna be using it for the midsole and leather. Uppers look great. Now we're gonna move on to the soles. From my experience, cleaning up the rubber on beat dirty Jordan 12 soles is really hard to do. So we're gonna skip the stiff bristle brush and go straight to using the brass bristle. This should do the trick. This is a great brush to use on rubber soles for the tougher stains, but I wouldn't recommend using it on suede after it's been used to clean rubber soles because it can leave marks. One more thing, make sure you dry this brush properly because it can rust. Now, the last step we're gonna do is put this shoe to the side, grab our insole and lace, give us a quick cleaning. All done with the cleaning, the last step we're gonna do is grab our shoe and put it inside our single laundry bag. Typically, I wouldn't recommend putting the shoe inside the washing machine because it contains a lot of suede, but considering how beat this shoe is and how much of an odor the insides have, we're gonna put them inside the washing machine anyway. Can't forget our detergent pods. Once they're fully dried, the suede should be okay. We're back. We got the shoe fully dried and clean. I'm really glad I put the shoe through the washing machine. It needed it bad. The odor's gone on the inside of the shoe. The outside looks great. The suede is really crunchy, but I know I can bring that back to life later on in this video. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the soles. The soles really aren't that bad. They're pretty white, but in some areas, it does have some yellowing. So for this, we're gonna be using some Sole Revive. We're gonna apply it throughout the entire sole, then put it in the Vick 2000. We're back. Before we get to it on this restoration, I want to give a shout out to our sneaker partner Kicksroll for supporting this video. If you guys don't know what Kicks is, it's the first sneaker rental service that lets you try sneakers before you buy them. No one likes bots, no one likes big lines. Kicks makes it so much easier to try out heat before you make that purchase. Hit the link in the description for 30% off your first month. We got the shoes at the indoor setup. They sat in there for about 2 hours and we got the soles back to fully white. Now the next step we're gonna move on to is our brass bristle brush and the uppers. Right now the suede is really crunchy. We gotta get it back to that soft, buttery texture before we do anything else. So we're gonna be using the brass bristle brush to make it soft again. Got the suede back to its buttery soft texture. It's pretty faded right now, but we'll take care of that later. Just so you guys know, you guys can't put the shoe in the washing machine. All you gotta do at the end is reset the nap on the suede. Now our next focus is the midsole. It's pretty creased up. We wanna get it back to its original state. So for this, we'll be using a heat gun. Got all the creasing out the midsole. This is a neat trick. I'm really glad I did this step first because originally there was a pretty bad nick in this area that I was gonna go in and sand off, but luckily using the heat, it got it back to its smooth state. But we do gotta do some sanding on the leather. It's pretty rough. Before we could go in and paint it, we gotta sand it down. We're gonna start off by using some 400 grit and we're gonna finish it out with 600 grit to get it nice and smooth. So now we're gonna take care of this front part of the midsole. Same exact thing, it has some pretty deep scratches on this material, but the thing is, it also has a texture. If I sand too much, it's gonna get rid of it and it's gonna make it look worse. So we're just lightly gonna go over it to make it look a little bit better. Onto some more prep work. On the front toe cap area, it has some separation. Before we could go in and re-glue it, we gotta get rid of the old glue. For the upper black suede area, we're gonna be using an X-Acto knife to carefully remove the old glue. For the rubber area, we'll go in with the Dremel to shave off all the old glue as well. All cleaned up, now let's go ahead and apply some new glue. But first, we're gonna tape off the suede so we don't get any glue on that area. We'll apply it using a paintbrush. We'll get it on the rubber and the suede, let it cure for about 7 minutes to 15 minutes, and then we'll go in and clamp it together. Glue job is complete, alignment came out perfect. I'm not gonna give it a stress test at the moment because the glue's still pretty fresh. We're gonna jump over to the leather and midsole and give it a fresh repaint with some Angel's flat black paint. Almost done with this restoration, now we're on to some final details. As you can see right here, one of the gold lace holders is completely missing. On the shoe, there's supposed to be 2 on each side, but this one broke off at some point. Luckily, we got the perfect donors for this project. If you guys remember from a few months back, I did a restoration on these olive green Jordan 12s. Well, this piece right here is gonna match perfectly on this shoe. What we gotta do next, using the Dremel, we gotta carefully Dremel it out from the back. We wanna move both the pieces, the front and the back, over to this shoe. Got these 2 pieces off, nice and easy. Now we're gonna snap it into place onto the shoe. Then we're gonna apply a little bit of Gorilla Glue to keep it in place. Check it out, you guys. We got that in place. It's a perfect match with the other 3 pieces. It's spot on. Now the last step we gotta do to wrap up this restoration, we're gonna go outside and spray some Reshoemator mink oil. Originally, I said I was gonna go in and re-dye the sneaker, but it doesn't need it. After I cleaned up the shoe, I realized that it really isn't that bad. So we're gonna spray some mink oil outside, brush it in with our horsehair brush. If I see that it needs more mink oil, I'll spray some more and brush it in as I go until I get the perfect results. Bro, get the black cats, man. Get the black cats. Alright guys, that is going to bring us to an end on this full restoration on these reverse taxi Jordan 12s. These turned out great. It was a simple restoration, but it took a few steps to get it to this point. We'll take it from the top. The very first step we did was give the shoe a proper deep clean inside and out. We scrubbed the outsides, insides, and bottoms, and after that we put them in the washing machine, gave it a full proper deep clean. After that we came back to a nice clean shoe. We did a lot of restoration work afterwards. We did some prep work, got the leather nice and smooth before the repaint. Same thing with the midsole. We also removed the creasing from the midsole in the back using a heat gun. On the front area of the shoe, it had a nasty separation. We re-glued that as well. We brought the suede back to life using Reshoemator mink oil. And lastly, I showed you guys the proper way on how to replace the lace holder on a Jordan 12. That was my absolute favorite part about this restoration. It's something I'd never done before, but I was so glad that I hung on to those olive Jordan 12s. Keep that in mind. If you guys have some beat Jordan 12s, they might come in handy for parts in the future for a different project. You can find all our products at reshoemator.com. Use my promo code down below to save some money. This is Vic Almighty. I'll catch you guys next Monday. See you guys.